Boom. We are live. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, we don't have any weird audio anomalies. I think I have it all square, I think. But you never can tell. So I'm going to double check everything, make sure we're still good. Let's see. Oh, yep. Can we hear JL? We can hear JL. Can we hear Prime Red?
Hello.
I think so. I think we're good.
Excellent.
Super awesome.
Oh, good. There we go.
All better?
All better.
Sweet. Hi, everybody. It's the Plot Hole After Show or something like that. Late show featuring J.L.Warren and Prime Red. Clive Wells, Jeff Roberts, what's up? How you guys doing?
Hey, everybody out there in the chat.
Yeah.
How's it going, live chat?
Boom. If you haven't seen that video that I just posted in the live chat, you need to go watch it. It's probably one of the best things you'll see on YouTube all day. That's all I'm going to say. I won't tell you anything else other than that. It's amazing. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Nothing? Nobody? I set that up and not one of you...
There may be several elephants in the room.
Yeah.
Where you want to go with this?
I'm just saying, you guys, I set it up and you're supposed to knock them down. Anyway, so Team Skeptic and Fight the Flat Earth today Fight the Flat Earth had, who was it?
Why You Are an Idiot.
Yes.
Was on their show. Yes.
There hasn't...
AKA CJ.
Yeah, there isn't a better name for a YouTube personality. Or a more fitting name for that YouTube personality than Why He's an Idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I apologize, Johnny. I'm looking at the video. Can they hear us out there in the live chat?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Can you guys hear J.L.Warren and Prime Red? Live chat, let me know. If not...
Not getting any video.
Well, it's because you didn't turn your video on.
No,
Now you are. You're just tiny now. Now because you turned your video on, you turned real tiny.
There it goes. Okay, no, I didn't have any video on my phone because I watched the stream on the phone so I could watch the live chat.
I got you. All right, there. Let's resize JL so people can see you. Boom. There we are. There. It's the man in the box. Jeff Roberts says his friends call him idiot for short. I bet that's not the only thing they call him for short. Oh, man. All right, so Jeff Roberts, you can hear both Prime Red and J.L.Warren. Awesome.
Hello out there.
Southern Cross. Hey, what's going on? All right, so yeah, I understand why Fight the Flat Earth and Team Skeptic do the shows that they do, because they're funny, and for the most part, they're funny. I can't do Why You Are an Idiot. I just can't get down with that. I'll turn it on in the background and mute it because the shit that comes out of that idiot's mouth, I just can't get down with. Can't do it.
Well, he was particularly crazy tonight, and it went a hell of a lot farther than it went when I debated him. Because when I debated him, he didn't say a lot of the shit that he said today. Or said tonight, and like the whole bullshit about atheism being a religion, and which I'll be honest, I typically try to be really, really compassionate when I'm debating people, especially when you're talking theism versus atheism, but that just really pissed me off.
So I've heard that argument before about atheism being a form of religion, and I mean, sometimes
it doesn't work.
Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't work, right? Because there's
it absolutely never works. Anybody who says that is a fucking idiot.
Well, can you give us an example of when that would work?
Well, when we're talking about when you talk about the structure of religion, like the basic rules to be a religion, atheism does hit some of those rules, but the biggest one that it doesn't hit, which is like the main qualifier for a religion, is a system of beliefs. And regardless of what theistic people say, atheism doesn't have a system of beliefs.
No.
Right. So how could it ever be a religion?
I didn't say it was.
Well, I mean, if you're going by okay, if you go by like the definition of religion, like if we literally
Right.
plugged in religion and definition, the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. Okay,
Sure.
now that's the first thing. Now it also says alternatively a particular system of faith and worship. Okay, a pursuit or
Mhm.
interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. Now that one's a little bit, because supreme, that's a pretty variable term, but like that.
Yes.
But it's the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. And no, by that definition, strictly by that definition, if you go by that definition, atheism is not. Atheism is the refutation of a claim, the refutation of a god claim or God's claim in that respect.
Well,
It is a no theism, gods, no theism, or atheism, no theism. That's simply it.
it's a rejection of belief in a or a group of gods. So
Yep.
there, if philosophically speaking, the makeup of what a religion is, when you can take away the God portion of that, and you take a look at there's a philosophical exercise. It shows that atheism can tick some of the check some of the boxes of a religion, but ultimately it fails because again, there's no system of beliefs. It's
Yeah.
quite literally the antithesis of a system of beliefs.
Sure.
So I mean, if you want to ascribe things like atheists getting together in groups to discuss atheism, well, that's no different than than Democrats getting together to discuss democratic policy or independence or movie fans like we do on the Week in Horror,
Right.
because we really 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 fucking love horror movies up there. We fucking love all movies,
Okay,
and we
so
get together
hang on a
every
second.
week. Uh-huh.
On that note, we've seen how easy it is to ascribe something as a religion, having a belief system, right?
True, but we
So
don't worship
we could make the Week in Horror a religion and be tax free.
that.
Hey, that sounds good. I think
So
I want in on that.
I mean, we need
Our
altar
Lady of the
boys.
Our Lady of the Perpetual Slasher.
Yeah, exactly. We just have to make it our own, and we have to have a designated meeting time where we congregate and speak about the subject in which we enjoy / worship.
Yeah, we
And
need to get a like a horror, a Tom Cruise horror equivalent also to kind of shield for us.
This is
yeah, it's
true.
true.
We
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
We need a figurehead. We need a figurehead to
Jump on.
to introduce us to the masses.
Yeah, he needs to jump on couches and make a complete total ass of himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I think we figured this out. We're gonna do this.
It's I mean, in that respect, if you were to boil down the certain aspects of religion, like congregating together or having a schedule of discussion or whatever, philosophical whatever. If you boil it down to its like all the little finer points, then yeah, it's gonna atheism will check some boxes
Sure, right,
just as theism will.
right.
But ultimately, you could say atheism, theism, but atheism and not religion itself, because
Hmm.
I would accept that with saying theism instead of religion, because religion and theism are can be two separate things. They're not
Look at three Ron.
they're
Three
very
Ron's
very
looking at your
close.
background. Three Ron's looking
Well,
at your
what's
background. Praise be Lovecraft, creator of the Cthulhu.
the only God you'll ever need.
The only one.
Why
Yeah.
settle for the lesser of two evils?
Just get them both, all in one. So yeah.
Personally, I'm a follower of the Yellow King.
Just
For any of you Lovecraft fans out there that know that,
You just got some Lovecraft panties wet there, JL.
You did.
I think I did.
You did.
All hail the Yellow Sun.
Organizing
But,
atheists is like herding cats. That can be done. It can be done. Just have to have a little catnip. That's all.
Yeah,
We
it's
got
called
Flat
Madzilla.
Derp. We got Flat Derp in the house. Flat Derp, I am so excited to see this video. as soon as I jumped on that live stream with Irish Demon doing the hot sauce, I knew that there was going to be a plethora of stuff for you to do. So you're welcome.
Oh, Flat Derp is Flat Derp the guy who does the cartoons?
Yes.
Oh, that's some funny stuff, man.
Oh, Flat Derp. Atheists that have been baptized are okay, right?
Baptized in what?
I think I take it blanketly because I myself was baptized. I was confirmed. I was actually confirmed Methodist and baptized in the Methodist Church. My mother is still a Methodist, but I left the church when I left the church when I was 13 or 14. I did not want to go because I didn't feel it was the place for me. My mother didn't force me to go, which is really, really good. She was very supportive. But it took me about, I'm going to say 12, 13 years to fully deconvert.
Yeah.
And then it took a few more years for me to actually be okay with saying I am an atheist.
Okay. So what do you mean by deconvert? I'm curious.
So everybody's deconversion process is different. It's unique to their experience is unique. So I pretty much went from I was confirmed Methodist. I was big in there, studying the history of the Methodist Church, and it's a very, very open and accepting denomination. That's one of the reasons why my mother likes it so much, because we don't really shit on anybody. But I began to deconvert when I realized it wasn't for me. There were things that happened amongst the congregation that I did not agree with, that I felt were exclusionary to other denominations. And I was like, this didn't ring true for me. At a young age, I was kind of like, this doesn't make sense. Why would people do this? So eventually it didn't sit well with me enough that I really didn't want to go. But I remained I remained faithful, and I remained spiritual. I maintained my faith. So then but then as I got older and I began to get more educated, I began to ask questions, as religion expressly in the Bible tells you, do not do this, do not question it. It's to appropriate cult persona. But I began to ask questions, and my mother wanted me to ask questions. She's like, yes, ask questions. If something doesn't seem right, always go after it. So I started to educate myself, and I went further, and I realized that there were contradictions in the Bible. Things didn't make sense. The notion of substitutionary atonement is silly and illogical. Why would God, sacrifice himself to forgive us for rules he put in place in the first place when he had ultimate power over everything he did? The whole thing doesn't make sense.
Who did that video? Did you see that one? That spoof? Golly, I saw it the other day. Maybe it's in my history. I want to bring this up. I want to put it in the chat.
The whole illogical nature of substitutionary atonement, and how Christianity is against pagan, or stands for fundamentalist Christianity, stands firmly against pagan rituals, but the whole thing was a blood sacrifice, which is a pagan ritual it's ridiculous. So it made less and less sense. And so that drove me away from the religion, I became a theist.
Yes.
And then I began to study other religions to see if that's maybe where I fell in line. And the only one that I took anything from was Buddhism, because it's a wonderful set of philosophy. I just disregard the dogma. But the philosophical nature of Buddhism is actually very, very beautiful. Just throw the dogma out. You don't need all that bullshit. Just just take the personal philosophies. And so I went down that road. I studied everything I could get my hands on, from Zoroastrianism all the way to the six families of Eastern Orthodoxy, or of Christianity, and then Eastern Orthodoxy. Just went about and eventually came to the conclusion that there is a God, that I believed at the time, or I accepted at the time, that there was a God, but he was not involved. That
so more of a
if
deism.
There was,
yeah,
exactly. Then I slipped to deism. God exists. He doesn't give two shits about us.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And then I began to realize, wait a second. Then there was the notion that the existence of a God in and of itself is irrational, because there would be hallmarks to that. And first and foremost, any creator worth his salt, for whatever, no matter if you want to do intelligent design or whatever, would not place his only sole creation in a singular place that will eventually end. This planet will eventually die. we have a finite window, cosmologically speaking, a finite window
Right.
in which we can survive on this planet. Geologically, this planet will one day no longer support photosynthesis, and all life on this planet will die. Down to microbial, it will be gone. And this will be a barren rock in space, just like many other barren rocks in space. And wait a minute, I was kind of like, wait a second. If he created us and he put us here, but it's temporary, but he's saying he's going to come back, but he's not clear about when he's coming back. But there's a final, so it's either going to be, from here to the next 4 billion years, and then the Earth will be swallowed by the sun. It's kind of like, well, what the fuck? So because there is no explanation for this, there is no further exploration of this in the Bible, I began to realize it's completely illogical that this thing exists. And then I got into cosmology, I got into how planets form and astronomy, and then started listening to a lot of really, really smart people talking these subjects, like Brian Cox, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku. I think I pronounced his name right.
Shill deGrasse Tyson?
I'm so... And then a very good friend of mine, my very good friend Cody, who I've known for the past 20 plus years, he turned me on to the Four Horsemen, which was Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, and
all the guys whom you can't read while high.
So I went through the science route. Then my friend turned me on to those, and I was like, wow. And it all just kind of cemented, and I was finally able to say, I am an atheist. I am about a 6.9 on the Dawkins scale. And that even if there were a God, which I do not accept that there is no evidence to support a God claim. I do not accept it. I shed my belief systems. I do not believe things. I do not hold beliefs on anything. I have a degree of acceptance that is strong to weak, solely dependent upon the evidence available at the time. So there is no evidence to support any of this. I do not accept it. And when I was able to get to that point, I was like, yeah, I'm an atheist. And even if a God did show up, like in the very last second, if a God showed up, or if the sky split and the sea opened and a 7-headed dragon came out of the ocean with 10 crowns on his heads and started wreaking havoc like fucking Godzilla, I still would not worship the motherfucker that put it there. It would not happen. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I realized that no, there is no evidence to support it, and it is illogical, it is irrational, and anybody who tries to justify it has no business speaking to anything because of their irrationality, and they sure as fuck have no business trying to influence governments or legislation that tell us how we can live our lives because they choose to irrationally believe something. And that's where my big fight is. That's because my friend asked me, why are you doing this? Why are you going on YouTube? Why are you talking about atheism? What's the end game? What's the point? The end game is get people, walk people to the point where they realize that this is silly. But not only is it silly, but motherfuckers out there, motherfuckers like Joel Osteen, motherfuckers like Kenneth Copeland, motherfuckers like Creflo Dollar, okay, these assholes like the Westboro Baptist Church, assholes like the Key of David Christian Center, who I'll be doing a video on. That video will be coming out next week, I hope, fingers crossed. But motherfuckers like this use this to create societal divide, to prey upon the weak, to prey upon the ignorant, and to influence the legislation that governs us all. To take whatever version of Christianity that they want to espouse, whether it's fundamentalist or not, and tell every person sitting in that live chat, every one of them, to tell you, Johnny, to tell you, Prime Red, to tell me how I can live my life. And
lobbying's bad. And
control my fucking behavior. And no, I will stand against that.
I have seemed to have triggered J.L.Warren.
I get really, really hot when it comes to the influence of religion upon governing structures. That shit really, really pisses me off.
So one thing I want to talk about, and then I want to drop this religion talk because it's too late to be so serious.
Oh, well, we can turn around and laugh at why you are an idiot. That fucking psycho. But I will say this: I was very, very happy towards the end because PhD Tony got on there. PhD Tony is in the chat.
Yep, in the chat.
Dude, you are You are savage. Oh my God. So brilliant. I learned so much from him every time. But
Hello, Dr. Tony.
I dropped a nuclear bomb in there in the chat. And I knew it was going to happen because when I went through all of Why You Aren't Idiots videos, he has, and I said it to you in the Discord channel.
Yeah.
I've said it multiple times. I've tried to espouse this because the guy deserves no fucking platform. He is a misogynistic incel, and the video's there to prove it. I know I'm kind of pulling his stunt. He's like, go watch the videos, they're on my channel. Yes, there are videos on his channel where he glorifies the murder of women by domestic violence and calls it the wrath of God.
Yeah.
Because these women disobeyed their men or they pissed their men off. And he's part of this growing movement called MG Toe. It's men going their own way. Fuck you assholes if you see this. And this piece of shit espouses this crap and he puts it out there. And I found these videos and I was like, you know what? When I first debated him, I was going to avoid it. I was like, I'm not going to touch it. Second time he was on Team's channel, he started going off. I was like, I let Team know about it. And Team got really fucking mad at him. And then this one, I pointed out in front of that live chat when PhD Tony was there, and Craig read that super chat, and the whole fucking chat just detonated on this motherfucker. And then PhD Tony, you are so amazing, went off on him nuclear style, and I was like, my work here is done.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: there's no room in this world for misogyny. There really isn't. It's one of the stupidest things. To think that just because you have a ding dong thinks you're better than somebody else, no, it's just fucking stupid. Anyway, back to the real quick comment I wanted to make about religion. It's important to remember that faith is not dangerous, but religion is. Religion can be used as a weapon. Faith, if used the way that faith is supposed to be used, is.
You're triggering JL again.
I know I am triggering JL. And here's the thing. Hang on a second.
We're going to get another 20 minutes.
Yes, I can. Yes, and that is absolutely 100%. Yeah, JL, I'll fight you to death on this one. Faith is not dangerous. You having faith, a person having a personal faith in something, whatever, be it God, Jesus, or fucking Twinkie, don't care. That's not dangerous. It's when you start introducing religion to that faith, that's what influences negatively, or at least makes the attempts to influence negatively. Because it's not a belief in God that is trying to influence government. It's Catholic Church, Baptist Church, Methodist Church, etc. Organized religion, I've always had a problem with. Always had a problem with organized religion. You want to have personal faith and beliefs and this, that, and the other? Fucking do your thing. I don't care. Do it till the cows come home. You do you. You don't want to have those things? You don't want to have faith? Again, don't care. Do you. It's whenever you get together with a bunch of people who believe the way you believe, and then you start saying you have to believe what I believe. No, the fuck I don't. Leave me the fuck alone. You do you over there. It's that religious aspect of it that is dangerous.
Thank you, Clive Wells. Clive Wells, faith is intellectually lazy. Yes.
Maybe I would sometimes tend to. I would sometimes tend to agree with that.
Okay, I was going to say the problem is that yes, a blanket statement. Faith is. I have an issue with faith is not a dangerous thing to have. The problem is that faith is the belief without justification. That's the problem with faith. Faith is belief with no justification.
That I'll agree with. 3 Ron, I will challenge that. Hang on a second. 3 Ron says in the chat how the ultimate faith flew jets into buildings. I'm going to challenge that. Ultimate faith didn't. That was, again, ultimate perversion of religion. We have to remember that if having faith in something, like if you have faith in your children, that's not a negative thing. That's not a bad thing. And that's not a lazy thing either. It's when all these people get together who have this.
Well, it really depends on how you're using the word faith.
Well,
because some people can use faith as like trust, but this trust has to be built on, strong evidence.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is too many people conflate, and Prime is right. Too many people conflate the word trust or confidence with faith.
Right.
When actually they have a weak confidence.
Well, but here's the thing.
Or they trust something, but
there's a difference between. We're arguing semantics a little bit, which is kind of where I get down with my laziness. Having faith in something is not unequivocally different than trusting. So the trust, I don't know. For me, it's different definitions of degree.
But when you say something like you have faith in your kids, you're not using that in the same way that someone says they have faith in a god.
Yeah.
Maybe again, not to the same degree, no, but it is founded on similar terms.
Oh, that's where my issue is with the term faith. If we drop the word faith from our vocabulary with its definition, belief without justification,
Then we would lose. We would
if we
lose a
did,
George Michael song.
you gotta have faith. But anyway,
Although it
so
would mean we would lose a shitty Limp Bizkit cover too, so I'm
we
okay
would
with
lose
that.
a shit.
Yeah.
So
Thank
Well,
there
in that case, I think it would balance itself out.
So in that respect, the problem, if we drop that, then we could rely on words like trust. We could rely on words like confidence. It's a thing, word synonymous with that. But my problem with faith is faith being the belief without justification. When you believe things with no justification, that opens the door automatically, because you cannot justify your belief, for someone to come along and walk through that door or push something through that door to influence your behavior, basing it upon your faith. So if I take something on faith and I have no way to justify it, and someone comes along and offers something that can kind of fill that space as a kind of justification, then naturally the brain will latch onto that, and it'll kind of feed into its own, I don't want to use the it really fucks with their epistemology. It fucks with their ability to ascertain what is objectively true. And it totally jacks their methodology as well, because then they cannot utilize these tools to get to what is objectively true, because it masks it, it shields it. So it opens the door to swindlers and charlatans.
It only shields it if the person allows it to be shielded.
But
so
they allow it to be shielded because they have faith. Because they're willing to accept things with no justification.
But again, we're starting to get into a slippery slope argument. We're starting that slippery slope fallacy. Just because I have faith in one thing means I'm going to be automatically deceived by another. That's fallacious argument there.
It opens the door. Because you have opened the door.
And again, just because you have opened the door doesn't mean that is what ultimately will happen.
But I would rather live and behave and conduct myself with that door closed.
And that's fair. And again, I'm all, like I said, you do what makes JL smile in the morning. That's all I'm going to say.
That's safe. That's safer, isn't it? It's safer to conduct yourself in a way and to comport yourself in this observable reality in a way that predatory individuals, will not be able to take advantage of you.
Well, here's the thing. Faith or no faith, religion or not, predatory people try and take advantage of you regardless. They're going to look at, they prey on fear. And ultimately, that's what people do. That's what these Copelands and these Osteens and these other fuckers do, as they prey on people's fear of the unknown. Right, I want to make sure I go to heaven. I want to make sure this. I want to make sure that. Which again, we're talking about religion. Okay, we're talking about the perversion of religion. How religion has perverted beliefs or faith. You can have faith that there's that there is some sort of creator, but not necessarily think that just because that creator exists means that there's a special place on a marshmallow up in the sky for me. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I
wasn't expecting the marshmallow. That was funny.
Let's be honest. So people are shit. People equal shit. Okay, they are shit. They're going to try and take advantage of you. No, I'm sorry. People have proven time and time again, more often than not, and in vast amounts, that they are shit. Okay, an individual person. No. I'm sorry. I'm 100% cynical about this. Individual people are cool, are good, but groups of people together, and we have seen this, especially now, groups of people together are shit.
I would agree. There is a correlation between the larger the group, the greater the chance for shitty behavior.
Yes.
Because people don't want to be left out. They don't want to be cut out. They don't want to miss out. They don't want to lose what they believe to be their share. So the bigger the group, the smaller the pieces of pie that are going to be spread around, more people are going to be shitty to get more pie.
Right. And so, yeah, that's where you guys are okay, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I like you. I don't care. I like you. I don't care what your mom says
I
about
don't
you.
care what your mom says about. Yes, Jessica G. It is called tribe mentality. This is true. So what monkey see, monkey do. Tribe mentality. All this stuff kind of works. Anyway, let's get back into what we really wanted to talk about tonight, and that's going to be all of our buddies J.M.Truth.
Oh shit.
So I have two folks who have thoroughly ripped J.M.Truth a new one on his Oscar-worthy Superman film.
That is 100% true.
I do love that recently in the live chats I have seen there's somebody out there, and I know he's being funny, but he is just like he lauds his work wherever he can. It's like, oh, it's Oscar worthy, it's amazing, it's the best direction and best acting and best. It's so ridiculous. You can tell he's just being silly.
Yes.
But I love the fact that he's out there doing it, just one lone person just trying to sing the poor guy's praises.
Sing the praises of J.M.
Oh, I think I actually talked to that guy.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he's like yeah. Well, he may not be the best, but you know he's a great guy. He's such a great guy. You know, he's a humble guy. And I'm like, are we talking about the same fucking J.M.Truth here?
Yeah,
it's so demonstrably wrong.
Have you seen the video on his channel where he's walking with his staff and he sits on a park bench and talks about anti-bullying?
No.
I feel bad because when I watched it, my immediate reaction was to make fun of him, and then, you know, it's a fucking video about not making fun of people, so I immediately felt bad. But then I remembered, fuck this guy, he's a piece of shit.
It seems like every time the subject of Jam comes up, there is something new, some new video that is out there that I have not seen, and I've made it a point to try and watch. Now, Writer of Dinosaurs really knows his shit. Really, he has been through all of Jam stuff.
He probably knows the most about J.M.Truth out of anybody. If you want to get
That's
into
sad, Writer of Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you. What
Writer of
your
Dinosaurs
life
is amazing.
must be like.
But no.
J.M.Truth.
J.M.Truth lore is fucking amazing.
Yes, it is.
It's ridiculous. Like, it's stuff you won't even believe.
Right, but here's the thing. It's like wading through a giant ball pit full of needles to get a ham sandwich.
No, it's like wading through like a whole yard of crashed trains, like train wreck after train wreck.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to find your way out, and the next train wreck is worse than the next.
Right. So that's what I wanted to hit on, right? So
I've been through his stuff. I've been through his training videos, where he's teaching people how to do green screen and teach people how to deal with lighting, and all of it is rudimentary shit. It's literally stuff that you could have repeated off of the instruction manuals that came with the equipment that he got.
Yes.
And the equipment is all very, very cheap stuff. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at any kind of lighting supply store or camera supply store. Very, very basic shit. But I've been through that stuff, but every single day, and I've been through his music videos. Been through his two little short films. If he's got more stuff out there, I'm looking forward to what I love about Writer of Dinosaurs is that he's got really, really good stuff coming up next, because he's gone beyond JM's his content straight to the man himself, and now looking at his history and just him out there in the world. So he's gonna go and take him down another notch, which is gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome video.
So, two things. Clive Wells says, I feel slightly sorry for JM. He has negative talent at everything, which I think is fucking hilarious. And then Jessica G does make... Jessica G is just making me feel like shit. And then I remember that JM's a piece of shit. Anyway, do you think the video of the anti-bullying thing is him crying out for help? I think he legit feels it's caving in on him, his world. Even his own friends on YouTube call him a buffoon. Well, I mean, he is a buffoon. That's not necessarily an insult.
I think it wasn't so much the criticism, because when I released the video, he commented on that video.
So that's what I wanted to talk about.
He took a swing at me, but I think it was when he latched himself to Nathan Thompson. I think that's when it started ending for him.
Yeah, whenever you anchor your boat to that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the beginning of this Superman fan film started when Prime Red, whenever you did yours, your takedown of it, and then JL took that and like took a deeper dive into it. So I think both of you guys hit a lot of just fantastic points about how shit of a film that is. Now I have like a tiny bit of filmmaking experience, very little. I have enough to know that I don't know much of anything, and if I can find somebody who can teach me how to do this shit, I'm going to listen to what they have to say. I'm going to say, hey, let me seek out the people who have been there, done that, and I have done that, right? So I'll pick J.L. Warren's brain because he's been there, done that. I'll pick like Peter McKinnon and Matty Habuja and fucking D. Fredarius and those guys that go through in-depth look at how you do things. And you look at those guys and how they do those things because their work speaks for itself. These are guys that don't just have things in the can, they have quality things in the can. So that's important. Now, when j.m.Truth commented on your video talking about, oh, it was 15 years ago, even though he uploaded it 9 years ago. It was my first film, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you haven't gotten any better.
Yeah, that was it. That's the thing. Like, he should get better just to count on repetition. But he fucking doesn't.
Exactly. Just by accident, he would have gotten better. He hasn't. And did you say he has a tutorial on lighting?
He does. He did a tutorial on basically setting up lights and how to, but it was very, very basic shit. Like, this is a key light. This is a soft box. This is what this is. This is yada yada yada. And he basically stood in the center of the screen and they turned him on so they could show what they could do. And he had his fucking janky green screen hung up behind him, and it was the exact same room that he did the green screen tutorial in. And even then, his chroma key abilities he has a rudimentary understanding of that program. It's basic shit. Like, if I went to the store and bought it and brought it home, everything that he talks about, I could literally just pull up the page and just read, oh, okay, so this is what it's like. And there are YouTube videos that are far superior that tell you. That's how I learned how to Photoshop, was via YouTube videos, guys who really know what the fuck they're doing. And now I still use Fiverr to go and hire people to do it for me. So, but it's what got me about that comment was at the very, very end, was the very last line when he said, you don't know enough to investigate.
Oh,
and
come on. That was pot calling the kettle black.
I wasn't sure what he meant by that, because it does. I don't care unless he was referring to, because he didn't finish his thought. Like, he rarely ever finishes a coherent thought. I wasn't sure if he was referring to, I didn't take the time to investigate how old the video was or what he physically shot it on or any of this. None of that fucking matters. What matters is you put out material. Yeah, you put out material. The material is shit, and that's okay. You still put out material. It's okay for it to be shit, as long as you, one, learn from it, and two, don't run around claiming you're a fucking master.
Yeah.
Don't think that you're the next goddamn
You don't put out something that has a typo in the opening fucking scene. The opening
government
judgment is spelled wrong.
Yeah, is that comment still on your YouTube video?
Yes, it is.
You should pin that one.
I went to look for it. I couldn't see it because I wanted to respond to him to let him know that I made one as well, and he should check that out, because I ripped into the story, and that's something that he can't really hide behind. Oh, it was my first movie. If his fucking story doesn't make sense.
Oh, it just tickles me that if you search J.M.Truth, my video still comes up first.
Yep.
It just tickles me. If you go to it and you scroll all the way to the bottom of the comments, it's right there, J.M.Truth Productions.
So you should pin that way it's on top.
I will pin that.
Because that's yeah,
because I'm going to respond to him to let him know.
Comment pinned.
Yeah.
It is, if I open the comments, it is now, boom, right at the top, pinned.
Yeah, there you go.
done. So you can see it in all its glory. But yeah, I wasn't sure what he was talking about as far as investigating goes, but I'm assuming he was talking about that. Like I said, he doesn't finish a thought. He just said, "You're funny, and then you're stupid, and you don't know what you're talking about, and whatever." So
if he had any kind of intelligence about him, he would. If I were in his shoes, I'm not going to say what I would almost say, but if I were in his shoes, I would have challenged you to say, I would have said like, hey, what would you have done different if you're such a good, I would have made it a challenge. It would have been definitely backhanded, but I wouldn't have said you're stupid. I'd say, what would you have done different? How would you have done it, Mr. Movie Man? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'd be happy. Yeah, I'd be happy to sit down and talk to him about it.
Oh, for certain.
I
But see,
would.
that's how I would get information out of you in an adversarial way. Oh,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Movie
you
Man,
wanted
what
to be
would you have
sneaky.
done? And
I still, I mean, and
the first
he
thing
wanted
I would have done is run a spell checker.
and if he wanted to sit down and actually talk storyline, he could talk to Prime Red if he watches his video.
Yeah.
He could talk to Prime Red and be like, "Where did I go wrong on this? What did I fuck up? How did I, totally fuck over these beloved icons, and do them a total disservice?" So
Complete and utter disservice. Yeah.
yeah.
He would never do that though, because I don't have any kind of filmmaking degree, and he would be the authority in the matter. I'm the authority here.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that fucking bullshit ass. Let me just talk like I'm speaking down to everybody. No, just stop. Joshua Michael Gennari.
Yeah.
And yes, I can say that because he puts it out himself. So no, I'm not doxing anybody.
So yeah, I don't know. I think after my plan is that because Week in Horror, the podcast keeps me so busy, and we've got big plans coming up because here in a few weeks, our season finale is coming up where we got a big thing planned for our big season finale.
Can we say what that is, or is that still hush hush?
Yeah, we can say what it is. So we're gonna every season of Week in Horror we decided it's going to be every year. So each year that we do it, it's going to be one season. Season 1 ends September 9th, the week of September 9th. We will be doing our season finale as a live stream, and everybody's invited. We're going to make a big thing about it. We'll have hopefully we'll have special guests. We're going to do the podcast as normal, but then we're going to expand it. We're going to do special guests. We're going to do trivia. We're going to be giving away T-shirts. We're going to give away horror memorabilia. We're going to be doing a whole big thing. Hopefully it's going to be awesome. We're setting up all of our stuff for the live stream as we speak. The guys, Eugene and Alex, are putting their stuff together, and we're getting all of our cool shit that we can give away to the people who want to listen on the live stream. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's going to be a big, cool event that hopefully will go off without a hitch.
Hell yes. I'm looking forward to that. So your podcast is probably the only one that I listen to now. I don't even listen to my own podcast anymore.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, it's fun.
Patreon. Sorry.
Yes. By the way, Week in Horror does have a Patreon, so if you want to go find that, I'm sure JL will let you know what it is.
I will say this to the individuals out there who have supported us on Patreon, but to all of our listeners as well, because if you listen to us on Anchor, if you watch us on YouTube, helping us get there, one of the major goals, one of the end goals of Week in Horror is to eventually create our own content, to actually do professionally what JM claims that he does, because he's not doing. And because of the support of the people in the chat, because of you guys, because of our Patreons, because of our listeners on Anchor, because of you guys who are subscribed to us on YouTube, we are now able to actually do our first short film, which we will hopefully be shooting in October up in Ohio at the location that we found. But that is going to be a short film. The short film will be in festivals. We could not have done that without every single one of the people who have taken the time to listen to us, to subscribe to us, to like and comment on our videos, to listen to us on Anchor on the way to work.
Yeah,
we're actually getting there. So it kind of surprised us. So you will get to see it, the stuff that we do filming wise. Those videos, those behind the scenes videos, will be on our channel. So you can get to see where your support, those funds go, so that we can produce horror movies and put them out there, and who knows, maybe turn this into a big thing.
I am going to
Sweet.
try and ride JL's coattails on that film just because I want the experience.
Yeah, I want in on that too.
Now, from what I understand, there is we may not come back from that filming.
It's awesome. So, and I never, and Johnny knows about this, but Prime you don't. The location, I'll tell you a little bit about the location. The location that we're filming is an abandoned house that was discovered on the property of one of the actresses who's already been precast in this production. Her father owns a property. He was out, and it's a massive, I think it's like 110 acres. Anyway, so he was out on the property, and he discovered that there was a house on it. He did not know that the house was there.
That's fucking.
He discovered that it's this old, abandoned, derelict, giant house. I think it's like 3 stories. There's like 2 stories in an attic, in a large attic space, and it has a basement.
Is it a plantation style home or Victorian?
I think so. Yeah. It's so run down that it's hard to tell like kind of what it was, but it also has a barn. It's got a basement. It's apparently has a room in it behind a door that they can't open. And she thinks I don't accept that it is, but she seems to think that it's haunted. There's been some weird. They've got she's taken pictures of it and seen some weird shit in the windows. It's pareidolia, but nonetheless, it makes it fun. But we'll be going out there, and we will be
fun, JL. Fun. Okay, let her have her ghost story. Damn it.
But we're going to go out there. We're going to film out there. It's going to be fucking scary. It's going to be long days, but it's going to be awesome.
I'm sleeping in the car.
It's going to be super cool.
Nice. That sounds like a good time. Do some ghost hunting.
This is the fun stuff. And we'll be doing behind the scenes of the whole thing. When we go out there to scout the location, when we go out to do cleanup, we'll go through pre-production, when we go into principal photography, all the way through editing. It will either be me, because I'll be running first AD on this production. Eugene from Weekend Horror, he will be running direction. And it'll either be me or someone I know, maybe possibly my wife, who will be running the camera behind the scenes to film everything. And I'll put it all together so that JM can watch it. And you can find out how to actually fucking do this shit yourself.
Yeah. See what it's like to sit down in a room with a bunch of people and argue out over planning, what shots are going where and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then what will happen is a year later, JM will have ripped off your movie. But badly.
I'd like to see him, to be honest, it's going to be out there. Because once we make it, we do festival submissions. And I obviously am going to put it online. It's going to be on the Weekend Horror channel. So that people can watch, see the quality of work that we do. As a group of filmmakers, what we can actually produce. And if he wants to take a swing at our work, he is more than fucking welcome to. If he wants to try and, obviously he can't rip off the idea. The idea is copywritten, but I wrote the fucking script. So if he wants to do that, if he wants to try and do that, we can go that route. But if he wants to rip off an idea like mine or do something similar, he's more than welcome to, because he will fuck it up beyond belief if he is not willing to learn and take the time to listen to people who've been actually doing it professionally for a long time.
So this guy, he's one of those gear guys, right? You see him all the time. Usually it's like the mechanics, the mechanics who have all the fucking tools in the garage, but don't know how to use a single one of them. This guy has a whole shit ton of tools, doesn't know how to use them, and he doesn't have the right tools.
And he always makes videos like posing in front of his big fancy camera rig, and he has no idea how the fuck to use it.
Yeah, he knows how to hit the red button. I don't think he knows how to actually dial in settings to... Well, no, I know he doesn't know how to do that shit, because everything he shoots is either overblown or underexposed.
The fucker called a goddamn jib a crane. So
it's 6 foot. It's 6 feet. That's not a crane.
It's not a crane shot. You just go, oh, I lift up the camera. Oh, it's counterweighted. Oh, it's so high. No, it's not. It's 6 fucking feet tall.
Fucking feet.
And you
I'm
I know
tall.
a guy. I have a friend. His name's Gabriel Barboza. He is a former filmmaker. He didn't really make any money at it, so he kind of gave up the dream. But he actually did make a movie. It's called Green-Eyed Monster. You can probably find it out there somewhere. It's actually not too terrible for the indie film, but he spent $5,000 on a crane rental
Jesus
to actually
Christ.
do a crane shot.
$5,000. I think you can get like one of those sunbeam or sun whatever the fucking you can like for construction site, some shit like that. A hell of a lot cheaper than that.
Probably now, yes, but this was 2002 when he shot this. But he put his heart and his soul into this thing. It really did not do anything. It didn't really go anywhere. But he did it, and it's actually not too terrible. It's not a bad little horror thriller. But he behind the scenes, he actually did rent a crane. He got the crane out there. He used it, and then all of a sudden, he got that crane. He spent all that money. He got that crane on set and realized he didn't really know what to do with it there's a few shots. And what's sad is he ended up using the crane only for transitional shots. He didn't actually use it for any kind of action. It's all cutaways and stuff like that, where you get a cool like crane lift, like whoa, but there's nothing going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing with that JM. He doesn't use his shots in any kind of creative way. They're all just like slow pan ups.
They're horrible.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to give my 12-year-old son a fucking handy cam, like, here, go make a movie.
Which is, incidentally, that's what he shot the Superman film on. He shot it on a Sony flip cam.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I mean,
that's why
guess,
you can hear his breathing in certain shots, because he's holding the camera like right there.
That's what I wanted to talk about for a second, is the fact that the tools that he doesn't have are some of the most important. Or no, they are the most important. I can forgive like a shitty quality to a video, but if your audio is bad, that's like the number one telltale sign that you have a shit production. Is terrible audio. Mm-hmm. The second is terrible lighting, and he's got both.
Yeah,
all the time.
And then there's a third there also. You got to make sure that your fucking plot makes sense as well.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, so when we start getting into story or the actual content, yeah, I mean, for sure, that's got to be, it has to be entertaining. It could be bad, but as long as it's entertaining, you know what I mean? Look at fucking Sharknado. It's horrible, but it's entertaining.
Man, we got to see Ian Ziering jump into a shark with a fucking chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's just pure mindless entertainment.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to say, and I'll throw it out there, you are correct. Johnny, you are absolutely correct. Lighting and sound will fuck your production 6 ways from Sunday. Like an Alabama whore, it will make your production its bitch if you don't have those two things right.
Exactly.
On my channel, I actually I've tried to do a web series several years ago. I think it was like 9 years ago. I tried to do a web series. I was going to do a modern crime take on Dante's Inferno, like a modern, like a very modern true crime kind of take, very gritty and shit like this. I tried to shoot this. I funded this thing myself. It was It was very, very expensive. It is currently on my channel. You can watch episode 1. It is shit. It is so fucking bad because my light and my sound were shit. I didn't have the equipment I needed. I didn't have the sound equipment I needed. I didn't have the light equipment I needed. I didn't plan very, very well. It's up there for posterity so that people could see, 9 years ago he did this, or however, maybe it was 10 years ago, I put that up. Now when I put new stuff up, you can finally see what I do. Fortunately, I've been kind of behind the camera, assisting others and learning and just expanding my field.
What you're supposed to be doing, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Because City Infernal, which was that web series, City Infernal was a learning experience. We all learned that. My wife was on that. My friend John was on that. I had so many friends who were involved in this. Everybody worked for free. We all busted our ass. I think we got some decent shots in that thing, but the sound was bad. The lighting was bad. It was just not good because I was not as experienced as I am today. And so hopefully one day I'll get to reshoot it. It was expensive to do that, but that's why it's up there for posterity. So people watch it, people can learn. And I'm telling you right now, if you do watch it, you're going to laugh your fucking ass off because it is fucking terrible.
Right.
So basically what you're saying, JL, is 2 pieces of film separated by 10 years should not look the same.
No.
Interesting.
No. And I think, yeah. I was gonna say something, but I shouldn't say anything.
Say whatever you want. It's not like
it's. I was gonna say Johnny's a little bit more familiar with my work as racist, so he's seen some racist stuff. It's not online because it technically wasn't mine, but it's work that I did for someone else. And Johnny's kind of familiar because he actually glimpsed that. I think it's you can tell the difference that I know what I'm doing now. So.
Right. So anybody who goes to film school, and I have yet to be in film school proper, But if you go to film school, the first thing you have to do is put in your 1,000 hours on your equipment. And there's shooting exercises you go through that specifically get you acclimated to like changing your shutter speed, learning how to work with ISO, learning the different what different f-stops mean, different focal lengths, different lens sizes, all of that shit. It's 1,000 hours that you're supposed to do to learn. J.M.Truth hasn't done 100 hours.
Spike your fucking tripod.
Yes. So PhD Tony says, it is okay to be unskilled at anything as long as you recognize that and either consult an expert or apply yourself to learning. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It's okay.
He is correct.
JM, if you're watching this, and I doubt you will, but if you do, it's okay that your Superman film is shit. It really is okay. What's not okay is that you think that makes you God's gift to filmmaking. You think that you've improved your craft. I can play an album that I wrote 20 years ago versus an album I wrote almost 10 years ago. And if you can't see and hear the progression and how much better the songwriting was, the recording was, etc., you're an idiot. You have to progress. You have to learn. And it didn't just say, oh, one day I'm better. Oh, I'm better at it now. No, I read technical manuals on equipment. I read about different techniques of miking and playing, and I practiced my fucking instrument over and over and over again. So you have to put in the dedication. It's the shit that people don't like to do. All the rudimentary things that nobody likes doing. Nobody enjoys doing the rudimentary stuff. But it's the people that sit down and actually do that truly hone their craft. And JM, if you were to do that, maybe you too could one day make a fucking film that's not shit.
Even if you keep doing things the same way, you still should get better just based on repetition alone. Just based on you knowing knowing the steps you have to do better. And he still doesn't do that.
No. Muscle memory. Getting the muscle memory, learning how to move. You can't just pick up a Steadicam if he could afford one. You can't just pick up a Steadicam and be a Steadicam operator.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. You've got to know how to move and function like a Steadicam operator, and that takes practice. You got to put the rig on. You got to set it up. You got to feel the weight of it. You got to. Your body has to know what to do. And good Steadicam operators make a shit ton of money because these guys have been doing it for 15, 20 years. You put that shit on them, and they move like the wind.
Yes. He's the guy who thinks that if I buy this, it's going to fix that. Not understanding that you have got to learn how to use. You should have already learned how to use that first before you bought this. But now you got to learn this and that. So you've really conflated the problem by not knowing your equipment. Anyway,
that was my response. That was my response to his comment. It was like, I didn't really say anything snarky. I was just like, I just really hope that he could watch it and take something from it, because despite the fact that I shit on a lot of his stuff and said that it looked like crap and this is blah, 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 I tried to give him as many tips and tricks in there that even when you have no money, all you got is your mama's kitchen to go in there and look for shit. I try to drop as many little nuggets of just, total guerrilla filmmaking that I could. Stuff that I learned when I was, grabbing a camera and running out into a field that I didn't own and had no permits, and I have to shoot a scene real fast and then run the fuck out before the cops show up.
Yeah.
I've done that, and
haven't we all?
I tried to help. I try to be funny, and I try to be informative. And if he's not willing to even pick up those little tidbits, then so be it. It's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good on you, JL, because all I did in mine was make fun of him.
But see, it worked. It was good. Like your style of film, your style of video making is much like mine. It's very point and laugh.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what you do. So speaking of that, why don't you let us know what you got coming up so we can get on out of here?
Yeah, well, I just put out a video yesterday. I believe it came out yesterday. Yeah, came out yesterday, which people seem to enjoy. You should definitely go check it out.
It's awesome.
Yeah, needs more views, needs more thumbs ups. And I'm not sure what's coming up immediately. I'm open to some suggestions. I'd like to do a collaboration or something like that, right off as well if anyone's interested. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a solid plan of where I'm going next.
I'm gonna put the link to your video in the description. Boom, JL.
For anybody who hasn't seen it, it is really fucking good. He put a lot of effort into that bit. Prime Red knocked it out of the park on this one. It is so fucking good. Go check it out. You will laugh your ass off.
It's fucking hilarious. It's done so matter of factly too, which is what I appreciate the most about it.
Oh, I love this. Jessica G. Speaking back to j.l.Truth. Well, he didn't get enough filming ability in between getting his physics degree, his law degree, his PhD, being a combat medic, saving lives, fighting NASA, and denying COVID.
Oh, and she forgot being a modified sniper.
And 3Ron said, "Don't forget modified sniper." That's amazing.
All right.
Jessica G, Ilya Moon, and Vishanti are like three of my new like YouTube heroes. All three of them are just amazing.
That sounds like a new version of Jukebox Hero.
They're my new Charlie's Angels. They are my new Charlie's Angels.
Let's see here. All right, cool.
Speaking of one of those three, you may see something that looks a little familiar for one of those three. It's just a coincidence, though. Like, don't look into it too much.
Oh no. You expertly hid all of your sources. Expertly.
I did. I take
your
pride
your
in protecting my sources.
J.L.Truth level of expertise is on point in this video.
Yes, because I take pride in keeping my sources secrets.
Very good. Yeah.
So her identity. I mean, his identity is not getting out.
The dog's identity is not getting out.
No, TP Seeker. I have not forgotten Craft Tequila. Craft Tequila is my new ASMR. If we want to fit her into the Charlie's Angels thing, then she is Bosley.
Oh, really?
She's got the Angels got to be told what to do.
Bosley didn't tell him what to do.
Who was it who told him what to do? I thought Bosley was the one that hired them.
Who am I thinking of?
No, but don't be fucking with my Charlie's Angels reference.
I'm fucking with everybody's Charlie's Angels reference.
I got to bow on this one. Charlie's Angels is before my time.
Well, okay. Damn it. Even like the remake.
Tell you what, I'm oh no. Unnecessary. You know, I'm marveling by how fucked up my beard is right now. That mask, wearing a mask all day just fucked my beard up totally. It's like all tentacly and Cthulhu over here.
Yeah, no, Bosley's not the one who told him what to do.
Which name am I forgetting?
Oh fuck. So we had.
Okay, there's their contact with the guy on the radio.
Yeah, that's I can't remember his name.
I thought Bosley was the contact to the guy on the radio.
Okay, yeah, so he's in between the guy in there. I thought you meant the guy in the radio because the guy in the radio is what I told him what to do.
Bosley was their contact because we never meet the guy on the radio.
Right.
Although, in the remake, he was played by Patrick Stewart.
That's true. That is true.
Although I don't think anyone actually watched that movie.
That is also true.
Red. Thank JL. He posted the link up in FTFE's stream.
Thank you, JL.
You're welcome, Prime Red.
That just means that FTFE peed on it. Yeah, why could we not remember that? Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say. How stupid are we? How fucking flat earth are we right now?
Well, I think he had a last name. But either way, but yes. Craft Tequila's Bosley. They're my Charlie's Angels. PhD Tony, you're fucking Charlie.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1.
No, because I don't like the implication that makes us the angels.
Hmm. Hmm. Didn't think about that one, did I? All right. So I've got a challenge for everybody. Tomorrow night on this here channel, the Plot Hole, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We're gonna do it 9 o'clock Central. That gives everybody plenty of time to, do whatever they're gonna do, and then sit down with us for the Master Debaters Best in Series. Which one are we doing? The Purge.
The Purge.
The Purge edition. Yeah, that's gonna be some fun. Jessica G, you got it. You got the reference. Very good. Very good. Very good. It went completely over J.L.Truth's head. You didn't even get it. Wasn't even paying attention.
I was listening to my nuclear bombs get dropped in the super chat. What do you want me to do?
Charlie's lizard people, according to why you are an idiot.
Nathan Turnson wins the live chat.
Yep, Nathan Turnson. I tip my hat to you, sir. Anyway, so
Well
tomorrow,
played.
yes, well played. Tomorrow, tune in to the Master Debaters Best in Series Purge Edition. I've got prizes. I've got the usual Funko Pops. I'm not sure if you can see them back there, and then I've got the Purge from the mask from the Purge. I got a mask to give away. It's going to be in the chat. You can participate in the live chat with the trivia. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Johnny, I think I might be master debater potential.
I think you would actually. We do it every month. What are we doing next month? What's next month? Next month is August. That's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
August.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is next month, and then September. What are we doing? September Hellraiser.
Hellraiser in September.
And
Friday
then-
the 13th in November.
In November, what are we doing? October. Halloween. No shit. Halloween.
Halloween.
Duh.
Yeah. Halloween.
So yeah, those are gonna be a lot of fun. And then December we're doing The Exorcist because it came out. It was a Christmas movie.
Yes, it was. It is a Christmas movie.
Came out December 26th.
Just like Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
Okay, look, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says. People say, "Well, no, it's not. It's just set at Christmas time." That could be said about any Christmas movie. It's a Wonderful Life was
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Christmas party though was a key plot point in the heist
exactly
that was going on.
Exactly, which makes it a Christmas movie. And at the end, what do? They go all huggy, huggy, kissy, kissy while there's a Christmas tree in the background. So there
Yeah.
we are. Christmas movie. Don't know why I got triggered. Oh man, yeah. Tune in tomorrow night. It'll be a lot of fun. And then let's see here. I know a lot of you have been waiting for me to drop the video that I'm working on with the former NASA employee. I wanted to have it out today, but my contact at the DoD said, "Hey, wait, I've got a new piece of evidence that I just vetted, and you're going to want to put this in your video. So stop, don't put it out, save it, and we'll get it. I'll get you this to you. I'm going to hand deliver it to you. I'm supposed to be getting that sometime next week, and then I'll put that in the video and then get it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy that one. I had fun getting into this one here. I just hope I don't get into any trouble. Anyway, so on that note, I'm Johnny O with the Plot Hole. One of these guys is JL. No, that's JL. J.L.Truth. And then Prime Red, he's this way. No, I don't know. He's that way.
I think he's that way?
Yeah.
Down there?
That way. That way. That way. That way.
Yeah,
That
it's
way.
down that way.
I'm
He's down
here.
in that corner.
Down in that corner somewhere. Anyway, tune into
I'm
those
here.
guys' channels. Check them out. Weekend Horror podcast. You got a new one coming out Sunday, right?
Yes, new episodes of Week in Horror every Sunday at noon. So you can listen to them right after you get out of church.
That's the perfect time to do so. Cleanse yourself
Nice.
of all that. And then Prime Red, check his channel out. The J.M.Truth video was amazing, but the newest one he put out, the 5 Guys Burger,
Five
It's-
Guys 5G.
5 Guys
And
5G.
we can do a more in-depth discussion about that if you guys want to talk to me a bit about that more.
I do, just
Sure.
not right now. I want to go to bed.
Okay, actually, Prime, I want to ask you real quick. In that video, you G being the 7th letter of the alphabet. I may have missed it. At any point in the video, did you actually say that with 57, 5, G,
Yes.
G being okay? Because
Yes,
I was sitting there thinking, it was like, oh wow, G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. But I never specifically heard you say that, so I thought that was kind of like a gag that people could pick up on. Okay, so I may have missed that part because I was working while I was listening to you, and I was laughing my ass off. So
yeah,
no, I did actually mention that.
cool.
So everybody's saying they want links, they want links, they want links. It's in the description of the video, so go follow those. But yeah, I had fun. We'll do this again. I'm Johnny with the plot hole. We're gonna get out of here, I think. Let me Team Skeptic this really quick, okay? Everybody should know what that means. We'll see you guys in the flip.